want to welcome everybody to the Bowl Review. Joining me on set tonight is Jonathan, Chris, Darren, and myself as we're going to look at 12 to 14 bowl games, give you what we think about them, and the most important one for all of us, of course, is the Camellia Bowl up in Montgomery, Alabama, as our South Alabama Jaguars.
Our South Alabama
Jaguars make their first appearance in a bowl game ever.
It's good. It's good. It's a good thing. Joey's happy. Everybody's excited. Dr. Urban's excited. Whole school excited. They're chartering 20 buses to take 1,000 kids up there. Dr. Urban was saying, hey, let's show up this prime time, Saturday night, only game on.
Yeah, that's right. And it's going to follow up our game.
And what's the good thing is about this, Darren, is that this program needed a jump shot.
Absolutely.
This money that they're going to get from this bowl game, possibility of winning this bowl game now against a very good Bowling Green football team.
Very good.
A very good bowling football team that has had national prominence on them before. This could be nothing but the start of something for Coach Jones and this staff. This could be the start of Sun Belt conferences, possibly even maybe major bowl considerations.
Absolutely. Don't forget recruiting.
And for recruiting, too.
Recruiting is
especially with UAB closing the doors on their football program. This kind of says, hey, you're in Montgomery, come see us down at UAB, come see us play, and you can be involved. And of course, the offensive coordinator back at
Absolutely.
That on UC, on
Absolutely. All of the above. All of the above.
Well, this was a great show. We'll see you after our first commercial break.
Yours are the shoulders that others depend on. To be there. To never let them down. And to get the job done. So when there's a lot riding on your shoulders, there's a lot riding on ours.
Welcome to Fairfield Inn & Suites.
Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott. Let's get it done.
And we're back. We want to thank the Fairfield Inn & Suites Marriott for sponsoring tonight's show. And Darren and Chris, we were talking a little bit, and Jonathan, about South Alabama Bowling Green, how important that game is going to be for South Alabama's program. You know, guys, win or lose, it's a shot in the arm for recruiting.
Right.
Win or lose, South Alabama's done what they needed to do. Right. But the important thing I think about South Alabama and this season is what they did the last game of the year. Yes. And I think people overlooked that because it was a loss. But what we saw out of South Alabama is they can hang with a big boy school.
Absolutely.
And take them to the ropes.
Absolutely. And Joey commented on that at the press conference when the Camellia Bowl was down here. Joey commented on how they fought, how they didn't give up. I mean, come on. They had two-point conversions that were successful, called back by penalty. They were going into overtime with Navy.
Right.
And you saw what Navy did to Army. I mean, it's Army, but, you know, still Navy's got a good team.
Right, absolutely.
Navy's had a quality program for the last couple of
Absolutely.
years. They just fly under the radar, but they consistently do it.
Absolutely.
With Ken Nakawa, Muka.
However you pronounce his name.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
You know, South Alabama's proven, though, that they're not afraid to schedule those tough opponents. NC State, Tennessee, they almost beat Tennessee and Neyland.
Absolutely. And played South Carolina well for a half.
Yeah, they just ran out of gas and juice.
The fact that they're playing these top schools shows them that they're not afraid to go out there and get that exposure.
Right, and then, of course, I think in the next few years to come, they've got Ole Miss coming.
Yeah.
Of course, Hugh Freeze, and then you've got Nebraska coming in. And I would not be surprised before too long that you see Alabama on that schedule.
Well,
I would not be surprised. Coach Jones is a graduate of the University of Alabama, played for Bill Curry. I would not be surprised, but in the next few years, you see Alabama and South Alabama.
I have this conversation with people a lot, and people say, well, why can't they play Alabama? Why won't they play Auburn? You know, it's just a lot to lose for Auburn or Alabama to play. Because South Alabama, I mean, look, Wisconsin hung a 60 spot on Bowling Green. I don't think anybody could hang a 60 spot on South Alabama.
No,
Alabama I don't either.
Is well coached. They have good athletes, and I don't think that you can hang 60 on them. I don't know if Alabama could hang 60 on South.
And just looking at and being at the game that I was at, and of course me and you were beside each other as we were both reporting on the game, you could see that it is South Alabama. Coach Jones has got a well-disciplined team.
Absolutely.
They are fundamentally sound. They know how to tackle. They know how to execute. That just shows you that all these little games that they were playing, you know, they lost to Mississippi State, which Mississippi State rose to number 1 in the polls. You know, it just shows you that what Mississippi State and what South Alabama's been able to do this year. And I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm going to say this right now, I wouldn't be surprised in a few years you'll see 10, 12, 13 win seasons for South Alabama.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. And don't forget, Mississippi State game, I forget who it was, but Bridge put it on him at the 3 and he dropped it.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
the first quarter. He catches that pass, they go in for a touchdown. Who knows?
Right.
You know how the game works.
Changes the whole momentum of that
Change
game.
The whole thing.
It could
Right.
have been a 30. It could have been a 10 point. It could have been 10 points on
Could
the
have
board
been.
instead of 3.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, I'd love to talk about South Alabama Bowling Green all night, but we have to move on, and we're going to look at the GoDaddy.com Bowl. Arkansas State, 3rd straight visit to the GoDaddy. They're starting to make this home.
Yeah, they
I know
come.
a few of the alums already own houses in Mobile. They
Yeah,
come back
yeah,
so much.
absolutely.
They own some here. I think they
And,
own the Wharf.
And they're taking on the Toledo Rockets, who are making a return visit as well.
It's a good program.
Good program,
Toledo's
good game. Looking for this game, I really think that Arkansas State has fallen short against the MAC in the last couple of years, but I think this year may be the year that they are able to put something together against the Toledo Rockets.
I really don't know how to call this one. I really don't. Toledo's got a great program. The Rockets always play well. They play better at the Glass Bowl in Toledo, of course, than they do on the road. But I really don't know how to call this one. Arkansas State's one of those teams that you just don't know when they're going to come out and thump you upside the head, or if they're going to take it in reverse. I
Right.
just don't know. I don't know how to call this one.
You just look at the record of South Alabama. I mean, not South Alabama, but of course against Arkansas State. You know, they would 1 week they're lights out.
Yep.
They're all 8 cylinders. The next week they're running on 4 cylinders.
saying.
And they're attached to a dump. They're attached to a truck
Yeah.
being towed down the road. You don't know which team of Arkansas State is going to show up.
Absolutely.
Toledo is a well-coached team.
Yeah.
They're going to come in there, and I think Toledo's going to get us a win in the GoDaddy Bowl. I really do think they will.
I almost agree with you. But I saw Toledo a couple times this
I'm
year.
going Red Wolves.
Are you really?
I like it. You know, Hugh Freeze came from there. Gus
Yeah,
Malzahn.
Gus
You know,
Malzahn.
that's an SEC pit stop
Yeah.
for some of those.
But the
coaches.
key is Hugh Freeze came from there, and Gus Malzahn came from there.
Right.
But
And-
I like
And
the
this
winning
coach here now,
tradition there.
is he
And
gonna go?
Call it a gut feeling, but I like the Red Wolves in this one.
Well, I just think the Red Wolves are due in this game. They've been there 3 times. They've not been successful. They've gone up against some good teams. Miami of Ohio had a very good team that year.
Correct.
And Toledo is going to be a good challenge for them. This could be a sleeper game. This could be the game of you may see 60 points scored, or you may get back to the game where you see a 5-7 game or a 5-2 game like we had 2 weeks ago.
One thing about the GoDaddy Bowl, it's always entertaining.
It is.
It's always entertaining.
And
so-
well traveled.
Right,
And
and,
well
this is,
traveled.
and this is just one thing, and this is why this is me. As I know Toledo should have been, but I think this was when I seen the bowl matchups come out, and I seen Toledo coming to the GoDaddy.com bowl. I was just like, okay, why couldn't you give that invitation to Marshall?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you give that to
Yeah.
the Marshall Thundering Herd? That would have been a good matchup.
And it would have been an attractive matchup because Marshall was undefeated until the
Towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then and then they had a basketball score. They just said, defense, stay on the bus. We're just gonna play offense.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely. But they're entertaining.
They were-
I agree with you. Marshall would have been a good draw.
I would like to have seen that matchup, but as I say, I think Toledo's going to do it. They're going to do a good job.
I think
It
they
would
would.
have been good on the big screen.
It
There's
would
no
have.
doubt.
It
Yeah.
would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
All fine over
Yeah.
the road.
All right, guys, let's move to the next game that's of interest to us. Of course, it's right up the road about 3.5 hours, the New Orleans Bowl. Louisiana Lafayette comes back for, I don't know, the 1,500th time.
I think they just got their facilities in the city.
And, of course, they're going to be taking on Nevada. Now, this game I like.
Do you really?
I do, because I've never got to see Nevada.
You have never seen.
I have
Whoa.
never seen Nevada.
You've
Okay.
never seen.
Kaepernick was.
I did not. I
Nevada
know.
Wolf. Okay.
I seen Kaepernick
Yeah.
at the Senior Bowl,
Right.
but never had a chance to see Nevada play. So I'm real excited about this particular game.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good matchup. Mark Husband, a good friend of mine. I know Coach Husband very well from his time at North Alabama. He was head coach at the University of North Alabama up there. Done a great job with this program at Louisiana Lafayette. Nevada got a good program down there as well. Of course, Colin Kaepernick. Not doing very well with the San Francisco 49ers this year, but
Mobile quarterbacks.
But mobile quarterbacks. But I've noticed this about Louisiana Lafayette. They've struggled against mobile QBs. They have struggled against mobile QBs. But this bowl matchup happens on Saturday.
Yeah.
This bowl matchup happened. Mark Husband and them have been practicing. They did not know their opponent. I think the edge of this matchup goes to Nevada because of the timing.
You know, bowl games are so weird because it's the time of year when you get to practice, and you're going to see some players in bowl games that you may not have seen
Right.
during the season.
Derrick Henry last year.
Absolutely. Derrick Henry in the Sugar Bowl is a perfect example. He came in and nobody knew that this guy was going to have the game he had.
I take that back because I remember when he busted one off the line of scrimmage for about 90 yards and,
Right.
Against Arkansas.
Right.
I knew he was
Right,
gonna be
you knew.
special
Okay,
then,
right.
so.
But still, did you know he had that game
I did.
in him?
I did because back in his games when he was recruited out of Florida,
Right,
he rushed for a
right.
game over 400 yards.
Right.
I follow Alabama quite well.
I hear you. But he did have a good game in the Sugar Bowl, and you're right, he did show some flashes. But bowl games are the time of year when
Right.
coaches like to practice things that, I mean, you know, you got time now. You got a couple of weeks, like, you know, to put things in, and you're going to see some players that you may not have heard about. And I'm concerned now because Lafayette can run the ball.
Oh, yes.
South Alabama found that out.
Yep.
They can run the ball.
And Broadway is incredible.
That's
Absolutely.
what Mark hangs his hat on. He believes his offense is up tempo, but he believes in ground and pound and throw it when he needs to throw it. Mark's offense when he was at North Alabama, same way. We had Will Hall. He had, of course, Coach Now, I can't remember his name. Of course, had some other great quarterback, and they had that spread offense, and they would run out of the spread offense, run the read option with him. As you said, Lafayette likes to run the football. I think I like the matchup with the running the ball. And of course, as Paul was saying, the quarterback, he's been there for I think 4,000 years. But I think I think he has a lot.
Broadway's been
Is he
there a
from
while.
the Hudspeth coaching family? Coach Hudspeth, father who coached at
I believe
Texas
so.
El Paso,
I believe
and
so.
yeah, right,
Because
okay.
Mark was, as I said, he was at North Alabama. Then he went to Mississippi State, was a receivers coach.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you guys one thing that we haven't talked about with the New Orleans Bowl, which may or may not factor into the game, but how difficult is it going to be for these two teams to get up to play at 10 a.m. in the morning in the Big Easy the night before? That is an early start for a
That's
football
like
game.
That's like asking my wife not to go shopping and not spend the whole credit card.
Yeah, but if you want to play and play again, you better get up and play at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Ask Alabama how that worked out against
Absolutely.
Utah.
Well, yeah.
Not so well.
Okay, here we go again. Did they really want to be
No,
there?
I-
Okay,
that-
you know,
that's
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty
Yeah.
much, you're right.
But the point is, you look at Louisiana Lafayette, you're talking about this is now their fourth trip in a row. Can you become complacent in a game when you've been to it so many times?
You know, this is totally off subject we're talking about. I hate this game's in the Superdome. You see this game in the Superdome, and
It's
see
empty.
It's empty.
Yeah, there's 5 people there.
80,000 people, 80,000 seats, and you've got 15, 20 filled.
Well, you know, this would be a good game to move to the new Tulane Stadium.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when is that stadium going to be completed?
I think they're already playing it. They played it this
Yeah,
year.
They played it this year, yeah.
But
Yeah.
looking here, this is Louisiana Lafayette. You know, Broadway, 2,073 yards,
Right.
12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. You know he's not a good thrower. He's got 3 interceptions shy of his touchdown ratio. But running the football, 2,741 yards.
Absolutely. They-
Oh, yeah, he can move it.
That is what
Yeah.
you call this offense here fits perfectly in that dome. It's a home game because Louisiana Lafayette
game.
is
50
going
miles.
to travel.
Correct.
They are going to pack that stadium out. I know the Saints had a home. The Saints were in Chicago last night. They're not going to have to worry about the Saints being there.
Chicago wasn't there.
And Chicago wasn't there.
Yeah.
That's okay with me, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not for me.
But here's the thing about that. Lafayette is going to travel. It is going to be loud.
Yeah.
Can Nevada's no-huddle offense be effective in that bowl game? Inside that Superdome, as Darren, as you just said,
Yeah.
it's not going to be as packed
It's not going
out.
to be as packed out.
But it's going to be still loud. Because
gonna be
Lafayette's
loud.
still going to bring they're going to bring their cowbells. They're going to bring their noise.
Yeah, I just like Nevada. I like Nevada in this game. They're up tempo. You know, I like Nevada. I do.
I'm going Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we got to get ready to take a break. We want to let you guys, when we come back, it'll be All-State Sugar Bowl time. We'll talk about the All-State Sugar Bowl,
playing that
Capital One, Alabama, Ohio State. Capital One, Peach Bowl, Cotton Bowl. We're going to go and take a look at the great folks over at the Courtyard Inn and Suites, and we'll be back in a second.
Some people have to travel for work. Some people get to travel for work.
Free Wi-Fi! Pretty sweet. Hey, you look like you could use a pick-me-up. You want a macchiato? I think we can expense it.
Sometimes it's the little things that make a big difference. Courtyard, make room for a little fun.
I'd love to get a round of golfing while we're out here. Did you bring your sticks?
And we want to welcome everybody back to the Bowl Review Show, 8730 Sports Media Network. You can follow us, everything we're doing at 8730smn.com. Again, that's 8730smn.com. Thanks to the folks at Courtyard over in Spanish Fort, Alabama. Great sponsors of ours. Also, Fairfield Inn and Suites over there. If you have to come to Mobile, guys, that is the place to stay.
Place to be.
That's exactly right. Yep.
So, guys, next game on our agenda, we've looked at the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl. We've looked at the GoDaddy.com Bowl. We've looked at the New Orleans Bowl. Now we're going to look at the All-State Sugar Bowl.
For the first time ever, a playoff system in
Absolutely.
college football.
Finally.
Thank
Finally.
you.
Finally.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
Number
Something
one.
on the line.
Number 1, Alabama, 11-1 versus 11-1 Ohio State, Big Ten champion.
Nick Saban versus Urban Meyer, his good friend.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2, yes. And
Yes.
it's going to be a very interesting matchup here.
You're going to send him back to the hospital.
I don't know.
Will
Big one, Elizabeth.
Will Urban have
Back to
another?
Utah, honey.
Oh,
I'm cold.
God.
Will Urban have another heart attack and leave Ohio State?
I refuse to be a party to this.
But this is. But this
Well,
is
you know,
gonna-
Gator fans gonna go there.
Refuse
This
to be a
is
party
going
to
to
this.
be, of course, one of the marquee. It's not. This is not the biggest game. It is one of the biggest games all season.
A double biggest?
They are two big ones. This one here rivals the Auburn game, of course. Urban Meyer is 2-1 against Nick Saban. He's 2 losses, 1 win, and the 1 win, 1 loss was the Tebow in the SEC championship game.
Traded field goals for touchdowns.
Traded field goals
Right.
for touchdowns in that game, and then of course 2010, 31-6, and then of course Urban left, and then set out a year. Now back at Ohio State, he has got the Buckeye program rolling.
Right.
They're on their 3rd-string quarterback. Alabama is on their 4th-string quarterback that actually came out to be a stud this year
Absolutely.
in Blake Sims.
Absolutely.
Who would have thought Blake Sims would come out and play
Well,
ball like he did?
Urban Meyer's 2-1 against Nick Saban with Florida athletes. Okay, this is Ohio State.
All right, wait a minute. I'm not going to sit here anymore and take this Florida bashing that you do. Oh, well, they this with Florida athletes. They coming in with Ohio State athletes. Well, are you crazy, man?
No, I was really. You didn't let me finish.
That's because I knew the road this was coming
Let
down.
me finish.
Let him finish.
The quality of athletes.
Calm down.
I'm going to quit. I'm resigning.
You're going to be okay if you let me finish.
Okay.
The athletes that Urban Meyer beat Nick Saban with were Florida athletes. He hasn't recruited a lot of Florida athletes to Ohio State. Okay.
Yeah, he's right, man. We beat the snot out of Alabama with Florida
So
athletes.
what I'm saying is that
I agree with you. Go
I
on.
do
Yeah,
like
serial
I do
killers
like
and
I
team
do
beaters.
like this Ohio State team.
Yeah.
I do. It's just hard. It's just hard for me to believe that Saban won't have these guys ready to play. This is no homer thing. I don't really care who wins this game. I don't really care who wins any game. Okay? He'll be all right.
He don't.
But-
He don't know the
But
stress
I
I'm
just-
under, and he's
yeah.
talking about for Florida mess again, talking about serial killers and
well,
Florida.
no,
I'm going to
but-
snap, Darren.
Don't snap.
I'm going to snap on the set.
Don't
There'll be
snap.
video proof.
Kill me. I'm
Don't
gonna buy
snap.
a cheeseburger.
Can we get back to reality here?
Yes, let's get back.
Okay. I cannot believe from what I saw of Alabama in the last half of the season after the Mississippi game. After the Mississippi game, and I'm not talking about the 1-point win at Arkansas. Arkansas is a good team, man.
Yes, they are.
Arkansas.
Probably the best 6 and 6 teams in the
Absolutely.
SEC.
Absolutely.
You get Arkansas a quarterback, and I think they're playing
Absolutely.
in a major bowl.
It's hard for me to bet against Alabama right now, and I just believe that they are going to go there, be ready to play against Ohio State. They're going to stuff the run. Alabama has the front 4 of Alabama may be the best in the country.
Well, you've got guys, and this was what Gary Danielson from CBS Sports was talking about when the Texas A&M game was going on. He was going through that depth chart. The defensive lineman, 5-star, 5-star,
Absolutely.
5-star,
Absolutely.
5-star,
Absolutely.
5-star,
Absolutely.
5-star, 5-star.
Trey
4-star.
DePriest.
Take
Trey
a
DePriest has
3-star
gotten
and
so
turn
much.
him into a
Trey DePriest has
5-star.
gotten so much better at linebacker. Anderson, the kid from Daphne, he's gotten better.
4-star kid.
Yeah, he's gotten better.
Landon Collins,
Ryan Anderson has
top
gotten better.
Yeah,
Landon
surefire
Absolutely.
first
But here,
round
and this is my
prospect.
thing about Ohio State, and I'm an Alabama guy. I roll Tide all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama is going to go into that Sugar Bowl, and they are going to show the nation on national television on New Year's night that the SEC is going to claim what's theirs, take back the national championship, because Alabama is going to go in and take care of Ohio State. I just don't think Cardale Jones has not seen a physical defense like he's going to see speed-wise.
Right.
Because by the time, but can they take the pressure? And
Right.
you've got Derrick Henry, T.J. Yeldon,
Right.
and then you've got the best dad-blasted receiver in college football. He could probably go play right now in the NFL, and Amari Cooper, and all you're hearing about is how Ohio State can shut him down. I mean, you were talking before the show.
Yeah.
They have defensive backs.
Right.
They can slow him down, but can they stop him?
Right, and if they stop him, does that let Christian run wild? You know, does that let the other receivers run wild? We know that the other receivers are good. And, you know, we were talking before, and this is dating myself, but I just want to say this about Amari Cooper. I saw Jerry Rice in college, okay? And I told my boss at the time at the Press Register that this is the best receiver I'd ever seen, ever. Amari Cooper is the next best receiver I've seen in college since Jerry Rice. I mean, I think he is going to be a phenomenal pro. I think he's going to be a perennial
And
all-pro.
he had third place in the Heisman voting. That's
Well-
another story for another day.
well, yeah,
If you're
yeah.
gonna make a statement that bold, then it to reflect in the polls.
Yeah, but you know, how many wide receivers have won?
They don't
Tim
get that.
Brown,
That's what I'm
Tim
saying.
Brown, Desmond Howard. I mean, you know, the wide receivers. It's very hard for a wide receiver
Right.
to win the Heisman Trophy. Yes, Amari Cooper should have been in New York. Yes, he probably could have won the Heisman Trophy, but you know, Mariota had a great year. Mariota's had a
We're gonna
good
be talking
last
about
couple
him
of years.
in
Yeah, we're going to be
just
talking about him.
I think for Alabama, don't underestimate Urban Meyer. You know, I mean, that man
No.
knows what it's like to coach in the SEC.
No,
He knows
right.
what it's like to coach
You're
in
right.
big games.
You're right.
If they hadn't have been on probation, they would have been playing for a national championship.
You're
We
right.
Forget about that.
They're going to come in with some. They're going to come in with
They're
some.
going to come
No,
in.
they're
with
going to come
you know,
in.
It's
Yeah.
going to be our front four against their running game, and if we can get Blake Sims a comfortable lead, where all he has to do is go out there, make those short screens, give what the defense gives him, and if he can run on third down, which
Yeah.
he's proven.
And 3-0, Alabama all-time, 3-0, last win 1995 with Jay Barker as the quarterback, and Ohio State, if I'm not too bad mistaken.
They're winless against SEC teams in major bowl games.
All righty, we got to move it on, and all you Alabama fans, that's about 14 minutes of Alabama stuff. Capital One Orange Bowl, Mississippi
playing at?
State versus. Hey, we're in a bowl game, so just sit there and be quiet. Georgia Tech.
Yeah, who's coming to take your program out of the tank?
I'll be there on Thursday. We're going to go to the Capital One Bowl,
All
guys.
right, let's go then.
All right.
The Orange Bowl, Mississippi State versus Georgia Tech. Dan, I'll let you go and take this.
I like Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. I like Georgia Tech.
like Georgia
their
Tech.
helmets.
I like Georgia Tech. I like Georgia Tech. I like the way they play.
likes his helmet.
I like
I
the
like
way
their
they play.
helmets.
What are you trying to do? You trying to get a free helmet?
I
Yeah.
like the way they
Yeah.
play. They play
Trying to
they
get a
play
helmet. Trying
together.
to get a helmet.
They play really good ball. They play together. I've watched them the last couple of games. The Georgia game, they really hung in there
Yes,
and played
really
well.
played well
Yeah,
in
they
this
played
game.
well.
Really played
I like them. I have not been a fan of Mississippi State all year. When I say fan, Mississippi State hasn't convinced me all year. When I saw them at Ladd Stadium,
Yeah, they weren't that
they,
impressive.
And, it could have been, South Alabama. Who were they? Blah, blah, I don't know. The LSU game, we found out LSU is not LSU.
No.
Okay. So.
But
I
we
have
did
not
find
been
out
convinced.
She needs a
something.
quarterback.
Right. So I haven't been convinced about Mississippi State all year. I believe in Dak. I believe in Dak Prescott. But I have not been convinced all year against Mississippi State. They had no shot.
And we
at
found out
Alabama.
a whole lot when they played Ole Miss.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
So Georgia Tech, yeah.
I'm gonna have to stick with my guns. I like the SEC. I like what Dan Mullen's doing with that program. But in the end, I think Georgia Tech, that triple option, is going to win it.
Yeah.
Because the defense, they had problems against Ole Miss.
Absolutely.
Jordan Walden, 91 yards, untouched. And then Dan Mullen bashed his defensive coaches, and now their defensive coordinator is now in Florida. He accepted the defensive coordinator job today in Florida.
Absolutely.
So that's going to
That's right. We're putting
And
a
again-
big group of
and
guys
again-
together.
and again,
coming
I
after
tell you,
Alabama.
South Alabama was toe to toe with Mississippi State
Right.
in the first quarter.
Right.
In that quarter, they were toe to toe.
But South Alabama could have gone toe to toe with them a lot longer. South Alabama shot themselves in the
Yes,
foot
absolutely.
a lot in that
Absolutely,
game.
absolutely.
Because if you took away the penalties, the 2 drop passes in the end zone, the missed extra point, now you're talking about a 3-point game.
And I had some problems with South Alabama's players being out at the pep rally the night before the game. I mean, I was telling my fiance, we were down there.
But it just
And I
gets
said,
back to
hey,
what
the
I'm
players
talking
are here.
about.
I mean, you know, when the players are here, they should be, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that Joey, you know, had them ready to play. But this was a big game. You don't need to be at a pep rally the night before the game, you know.
I think the Bulldogs win it, guys. I think you're underestimating the fact that they went toe-to-toe against Alabama. They were down by 17, and they put up a dogfight all the way into the fourth quarter. And if it just hadn't been for Alabama converting on 3rd and long situations,
It's stupid
third and
luck.
short.
Stupid luck.
Hey, call it what you want.
no,
you know, we're playing.
no.
Yeah, it's kinda like- It's kinda like-
playoff on that.
No, they were ready to play that
kinda-
game. Mississippi State was ready to play that game. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying
It's kind of
that-
like Florida State all year. It's just
I felt
luck.
like we could beat Mississippi State because the pressure was on them. For once in their life, it was not
And I
on the
said
University
this,
of Alabama.
And I said this on Talk to Talk Sports, which you can see after the first year, we hope. And here,
Yeah, we're working on
we're
that.
working on that. I said I woke up in the twilight zone when I woke up in the polls, and Mississippi State was #1 in the country.
Yeah, scary, wasn't it?
It was very scary.
Yeah.
But it showed that Dan Mullen had been building this program for so long for this run.
Right, right.
Will Dak Prescott stay? I don't think he will.
Yeah.
I don't
I think
so.
he's going to go.
Yeah.
Unless his draft status, is not there. Dak Prescott right now, I would say Dak Prescott needs to stay one more year at Mississippi State to finish what he started this year, because I think next year, with whatever's going on, the fluctuation.
I'm sure the
Mississippi State-
Redskins take him.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Jay Gruden don't like mobile quarterbacks. You didn't know that. But I think that if he stayed one more year, I think Mississippi State could be that playoff team. If they
Yeah.
wouldn't have lost him, if they wouldn't have lost Ole Miss, they would have been that 4th spot. We'd be talking about a rematch.
Yeah.
And that's, I think,
Yeah.
even more reason to say that Mississippi State goes out there and proves.
Wait, hold on. If they wouldn't have lost to Ole Miss,
They would have got in. They would have been 4th.
they might have been sitting #1.
Well, you're talking about an
Right.
Iron Bowl, the Egg Bowl. for them.
That means you take whole Alabama and just put them they playing
Again,
with.
where are you playing?
Listen, man, we in a bowl game. That's all that matters, all right?
Hey, congratulations.
And congratulations on the Birmingham toilet bowl.
We don't all have to be in the All-State Bowl. I mean, somebody's got to play in the other 50.
Yellow
Hey,
jacket.
I'm actually, can't say this, I'm actually going to the Birmingham Bowl this year. I'm actually going to be wearing my orange and blue for my wife. It's actually her Christmas present.
Okay.
But let's move on.
That's what happens when them Alabama fans get on the Florida wagon. They wear the orange and blue to the bowl game.
That'll be a cold day.
Peach Bowl, Ole Miss versus TCU.
Go ahead, Darren. This is in Atlanta.
I love it.
Ole Miss is
It's-
going to travel well.
Yeah, that's
Rebel,
too
rebel.
bad. That's too bad. Because TCU is going to blow their doors off.
You're exactly right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. but-
TCU is really angry, number one.
I'm a little upset for them.
Yeah, they're angry.
Feeling their pain.
They're angry, and they have athletes. And don't forget, a lot of people say, well, TCU, where'd they come from? They have Texas athletes, man. Come on.
And they
Texas,
turned from 4-8.
absolutely. Texas athletes, man, are on the same par with Florida athletes and Alabama athletes, and I'm talking about, recruits.
Oh, okay. All right.
Easy.
These are Texas athletes, man, and TCU and Baylor, this is no accident.
Not at all.
But see, and this is what actually we're going to talk about. This is actually one of the new Big Six now. There's
Yeah.
no more BCS.
Right,
so
right.
So it's back to the way it was in the old days, back in the 70s
Right,
and 80s.
right.
Do you think that this is what I think me and Paul were talking on the phone today. You was talking about the powder puffs.
Right.
That hurt Baylor and TCU.
Absolutely. And I think the committee
It's making
made
a statement. Yep.
by saying, okay, we see you, TCU. We see you, Baylor. We don't believe in you,
There's
TCU.
no conference championship.
Yeah, there's no
game.
conference championship.
Us.
And I think what the committee is doing, they're taking it upon themselves to say, we're going to change this philosophy. We're going to change your mindset on scheduling and things like that. You no longer will get away with playing the Wharf University and building up a resume going into conference play.
Cutting a check for
Absolutely, $400,000 or $500,000.
just to
Yeah.
give that. But this is the thing about that. The powder puffs, Big 10, Big 12. Big 10 took a lot of their guys from the Big 12. There's teams out there. There's a Notre Dame out there that's independent. Offer them an opportunity to get in your conference.
Too much money for
Too
them.
much money for them. Notre Dame wants to keep that NBC contract. That's what irritates me about Notre
Yeah.
Dame. They don't want. They want to compete with us.
But I thought Notre Dame was going ACC for an extent of their football
A
schedule.
while back,
Just
but
for
now
basketball.
Notre Dame is
Basketball.
rethinking the whole thing again.
Yeah, because
they're
look what
rethinking the whole.
happened.
Absolutely,
Because
they're
what happened?
rethinking the
They're
whole
7-5
thing.
now, playing in the dadgum.
They're
against
rethinking the
LSU.
whole thing, and Notre Dame could be in Conference USA next year for all we know.
And
you
this
know?
is taking UAB spot.
Yeah.
But this is the thing
Given
about
the way
it.
they play
Yeah.
the
Big
big
12
games.
needs to change the conference. They need to get a championship game.
Absolutely.
They need to go to from the Big 12. They need to go to the Big 8 like it was in the old days.
Right.
The old days. Four teams
Right.
play each other. You cross divisions, play it off, just like Alabama does, just like the SEC does. SEC
Rotation.
rotation.
Yeah, I think and the weird thing, I heard the Big 12's thing now, I don't know where it came from. I think it came from the conference itself. They're going to have a conference championship game if necessary. So if this happens again, they reserve the right. They reserve the right. The Big 12 reserves the right to have a championship game if necessary.
This is what. All right. You look at these two teams right here on our board right here. You had the Peach Bowl. You have TCU. You have Baylor. Who was the conference champion? You had co-conference champions.
Yeah.
They should have had a game the very next day. They should
Yeah.
have had a game the following Sunday.
And that's what they're saying now. if
Baylor
this situation
Baylor
comes again.
should feel like the team that was on the odd man out.
Yeah.
TCU,
Yeah.
Baylor beat TCU, and TCU
Yeah.
almost lost to a 3-6 Kansas
Yeah.
team, and you want
Yeah.
to come in the top 4. Killing me.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
All right, we got to take a timeout. Everybody up here, go get a Polar Pop from Circle K, and we'll be right
Somebody,
back.
please, paramedics.
Pour yourself a Polar Pop. Pour yourself a Polar Pop.
Circle K is home of the Polar Pop fountain drink, the coldest drink around. Polar Pop cups are made from polar foam, so your drink stays cold longer, and you can get any size cup for just 89 cents every day. 89 cents. So stop by Circle K today and pour yourself an ice-cold 89-cent Polar Pop fountain drink. It stays cold longer.
Pour yourself a Polar Pop.
All right, we want to welcome everybody back to the show. We hope you went out and got your Polar Pop.
Yeah.
They got all kinds of
And your
flavors.
Vicodins and all that
Yeah,
stuff too.
yeah.
We are now jumping into the Cotton Bowl. We hooked our man up on some Zoloft. He should be okay.
I'm great, guys. I hope I don't.
It's coming down a little bit. But we're going to look at the Cotton Bowl
Talk
now.
about what bowl now?
Michigan State versus Baylor, the Cotton Bowl. And I'm going to leave it up. John, I'm going to let you start
I'm
it.
going to lead this one off with
Hey, now hold on just a minute, Jonathan. Be easy.
Okay.
You just come out of the.
Well,
the
it's
ticker.
more.
Okay, there you
I
go.
get fired up about more than the SEC, guys.
Okay,
I
all
love
right.
college football as a whole, and I love these bowl games. And
But we want you to know real
scared of
quick,
this guy.
before
I
we
really
get
am.
Jonathan
I'm
going, we
scared of
want
this guy.
everybody to know, you too can be just like Jonathan if you go to Lulu's and have a burger and fries.
That's right. Hey, guys. Hey, you want to go to Paradise? Come get a cheeseburger.
And when you leave, you will be jacked up like my boy,
That's right.
ready to go.
Hey,
All right, Jonathan, come on.
natural grass-fed beef, baby.
Come
All
on.
right.
You know what he talks about me? I always have a Red Bull before we do our broadcast. You know, when we do the Escambia games, and he says, I'm surprised you don't jump off the roof because you know why I have to have a Red Bull?
Oh, yeah. Boy,
Because
he's
I get up and I'm working 8 hours a day working on drilling people's houses all day. So
he
that's
is
why-
the only play-by-play guy I know that calls a game with a parachute on his back.
I'm really lacking here. I'm losing some things to you guys. I don't do anything.
No, that's kind of like me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and you just
Also,
chill.
home calls me when I'm on my breaks.
Yeah. I just want to make sure he's working.
Guys, I got two words for you. On this
Go ahead right now. Let's
Two
go.
words. Da Bears. All right. I like
The
Baylor.
Bears.
I
Do
love
you?
that
Do you?
high-powered offense.
Yeah.
I think this is not the same Michigan State defense that we've been looking at. They don't have that running back, I think, that really is going to be able to
That's true.
keep that quarterback on the field,
You're
manage
right.
that game clock.
You're
I
right.
like Baylor in this one.
Baylor's mad because they didn't get in. They have the same.
Absolutely.
Just like we talked about in our last segment
Yes.
with Darren.
Yes.
They have no playoff.
Yes.
They have no conference championship game.
And they had the biggest beef, I
They
think.
have, and
Yeah.
they did. And Bryce Petty,
That was
God-fearing,
petty.
Yeah.
Just petty of him.
God-fearing Christian boy.
Yeah.
And he can sling that
Hey,
ball
a gunslinger.
around the yard.
Yeah.
I think Baylor's going to light him up.
Did you see what Oregon did to Michigan State earlier in the year?
Oh, yes.
Okay. This is Oregon reincarnated with Baylor. Okay.
With Baylor athletes.
Up with Texas athletes. You're right.
This is
Up-tempo.
Ohio State versus Wisconsin.
Up tempo, and I can tell you this from personal experience in Michigan.
Do I need
Years
to-
and times that I spent
Do I need to point at the board now? Because like everybody's pointing at the board but me, and I don't want to get left out.
Okay, go ahead and point the board.
All right.
Getting your ET.
Mark D'Antonio is very stubborn.
He is.
He's very stubborn. He coaches one way, and he believes his way can win. I don't think they can stick with this up-tempo offense from Baylor. I don't. I think Baylor's going to hang a 20 spot on them in the first half, if not more. And once that happens, they're in
Turn
trouble
the
because
channel.
they don't have an offense built for come from
And
behind.
here's the thing about the Big Ten that I don't, that I do not. That's very, very similar. The only up-tempo team is playing in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Absolutely.
Everybody else is no huddle.
Absolutely.
Michigan State didn't. I think they didn't play Ohio State this year. I think they did. I think Ohio State.
They won.
And Ohio State.
In East Lansing.
And Ohio State blew them off the field.
Yeah.
They have trouble with no huddle teams.
Yeah.
That's why Bryce Petty,
Yeah.
it's his last collegiate game. He's
Yeah.
probably going to be a top 10 pick in the draft.
Absolutely.
The NFL draft.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to have a magnificent game.
Well, I think it's just a pity that we can't talk about Petty no more because it's time to not go to the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
Number 2 Oregon Ducks versus number 3 Florida State Seminoles. Chris, you started off.
Well, the number 3 team in the country has dodged bullet after bullet after bullet after bullet
Living on the
for
edge.
13 weeks.
Yeah.
Here's the edge of Florida State. If y'all could see my toe, Florida
We
State
can't.
is on that edge.
Yeah.
They are on that edge.
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher has built an SEC team in the ACC. They're big, they're physical. I'm looking here at Oregon. Oregon, you have one of the most dominant quarterback in the country. The well-deserving Heisman Trophy winner. I still think Amari Cooper should have been second, but one of the most deserving Heisman Trophy winners, one of the most humble, and finally a face, a kid that kids can actually get behind.
Right.
Because that Marcus Mariota is one of those guys.
Right.
Can I say, with that being said, I think all 3 of them put on one of the best speed. I felt like that was truly 3 guys that did deserve to be there.
Right. And he did finish second, correct?
Finished third.
He finished third?
No, Gordon took
Took second? Okay.
But Florida State, Jameis Winston, he has lived, but he showed out in the ACC Championship game. He is 1-0 in that venue. As a freshman, he has had a come-from-behind victory against Auburn. Oregon, Marcus Mariota has won 1 BCS bowl game as a starter.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The coach from Oregon, Mark Heinrich, has never coached in a BCS bowl game.
Yeah.
Against a 2-time
I see
national
where you're going.
championship
I see where you're
coach.
going. Yeah.
You've got Jimbo Fisher, who coached at LSU, and then you've got him this year coaching, and now he's going for his 3rd ring.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something right now. The Quack Pack and the Seminole Chop, I know that's New Year's Day. Everybody's going to be getting in from a long night. They're going to be getting over, drinking probably all night. You will not want to blink twice because the ball will be flying all over the yard in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
There will be, I wouldn't be surprised, between 70 and 80 points on the board.
I don't know how to call this one. I honestly don't, because I'm not quite sure that Jameis isn't relishing the fact that everybody's pulling for him to lose and fall on his face. Everybody's pulling for Jameis Winston because of what he does off the field to finally flop on the field, and he never does. He always finds a way to come to. The dude can play ball.
He can.
He can play ball.
He's a baller.
He can play ball. They can match. They may be one of the few teams in the country that can match Oregon speed for speed. They are very fast, particularly at that kid, the running back out of Miami. Yeah.
He's fast.
He's extremely fast.
Florida could.
Well,
let's just go back to that game we were talking about, that Oregon Ducks Florida State game.
Are you going to let me finish?
Yeah, I don't know why you keep getting off subject.
Okay.
Okay, all right, well, but...
Oh, we're talking about the Rose Bowl, right?
Yeah, we were. I don't know why you threw Florida up in the middle of it for no reason, but you're right. They can hang with Oregon State speed-wise.
Florida State's playing in the Rose Bowl.
I know, but you're talking about Florida.
No, I'm not.
You said something about the Florida speed with the Ducks, and the Ducks can hang with the Florida speed.
I talked about Jameis Winston. He doesn't play for Florida.
Anyway, folks, while these two...
It's okay, man. It's all right. You just get back to your
drinking.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Guys, honestly, I think it's a great matchup. I think it's intriguing. I feel what you say, Florida State, but tell me one quality win besides Georgia Tech that really you can hang on Florida State, because we all thought the Notre Dame game was so good in prime time.
Yeah.
But that was really
Well, that Florida win was a quality win.
Notre Dame went like this.
Paul's gonna love this.
Look,
That Florida game was a quality win.
Look.
Over 150 yards passing, 4 interceptions, and that was against your Florida team.
That's right. We had a good defense.
Good defense.
We just went to sleep in the
I just
second
really
quarter.
I just really feel with Florida State, the way they've been living on the edge, they have been living on the edge. I just really feel like these guys are just you see what I'm trying to? They're almost destined to be there.
Oh God, there went that destined.
I'm looking.
He
forward.
used the destined word.
I have compared this.
State may be destined Florida.
Destiny.
Yes, you
You
do.
make your own
And
destiny.
Florida State last year did. They blew everybody's doors off.
Yeah.
This year, this is me, and me and you was talking about this before we started. Florida State is like a 280-pound heavyweight boxer.
Yeah.
This is like Mike Tyson going up against Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And in the end, can Oregon take a round punch to the face?
That'd be roundhouse.
A roundhouse punch
There you
to
go.
the face. And then can Florida State take a swinging jump kick to the back of their head and get up? I don't think so. I think Jameis Winston loses his first game.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. I like the Mighty Ducks.
I just don't know.
I wanna watch
really
that
don't
game.
know. I really don't know. I just keep saying, I watched Florida State all year, and I'm like, okay, Notre Dame had them. Everybody runs that pick play. Why call it now? Okay, and they won again. Okay,
But they
and then
called Missouri.
and then they had the Louisville game with all the controversy about Jameis possibly being investigated for the point shaving and all that stuff by throwing 2 or 3 interceptions to Louisville and down 21-0 when his best friend bet $5,500 that Florida State would be behind at the half. And I'm like, okay. And they have survived all of this crap.
Why couldn't he pay for his crab legs in,
They have
man?
survived all of this crap. It's not that I believe in them. I just see something different about this team that I think can get them past Oregon and set up in Alabama, Florida State championship game.
That's what, and this is what everybody.
I want to know if he's making $5,500 bets. His best friend is.
Well, yeah.
Hold on, best friend
Well,
is.
that's the other story. Why does a college kid get $5,500?
His cut it has got to be half.
Right.
Yeah.
And he can't pay $15 for some crab legs.
We haven't heard much about that investigation
and
since
and
then.
this is the thing about
Maybe he went and paid Publix.
if that matchup happens, Florida State fans, and I've got friends that work with me. Florida State fans, this is all I've heard. We want Bama.
Oh yeah.
We want Bama. You may get what you want.
Be careful.
But be careful what you wish for, because you might just get a royal butt whooping.
Yeah. You could very well get a royal butt whooping if
need
they
to
play.
worry about Oregon
As a matter of fact, if that game takes
Because
place,
I don't think Jimbo could outcoach Nick. I do not think so.
I don't think that they can out-athlete Alabama.
No, and I
personally.
think Jameis Winston will pick himself up off Jerry Jones, after Jerry's World turf about 8 times after Jerry traded Priest and all them hit him a few times. Knock his jaw loose a couple times.
Ryan Anderson's getting after the quarterback,
and
man.
Ryan Anderson too.
He's getting after the
But they
quarterback.
have. But this
Can
is
we
the
can we
thing.
go to the next game,
If
guys?
Florida had a kicker, Florida State would be sitting at the house right now. That's
Florida
all I
State
got to say.
Florida State would probably sit at the Orange Bowl.
Miami.
That was another
But-
shot, wasn't it?
But they
I
just
know. It's just.
it's just
We love you, Paul Ewing. All right, let's move on to the Fiesta Bowl.
okay.
Yeah, Boise State versus Arizona. I don't even want part of this one. Y'all go, because I think Boise State's going to win.
I'm a
Arizona.
Rich Rod fan, man.
I'm sorry, but I'm going with Paul. Boise State after Rich Rod stood us up and
Really?
come to Alabama, but thank God he didn't.
This isn't your father's Boise State. This is not Boise State.
This is not Chris Peterson.
No,
this
this
isn't
isn't.
Chris Peterson.
Arizona played well all year. They beat Oregon at Oregon.
Had to
But
play
this is my thing.
Yeah,
How
beat
did
them at
Boise
Oregon.
I
State
just
get
like
in
Boise
that?
State.
How did Boise State get in one of those?
I like
bowl
their
games?
helmets.
That's what I don't understand. I do
Well-
like Boise State's helmets. That's what.
Don't
I
they got nice helmets?
They do.
I think it's that Cinderella field, man.
That's why I wonder why.
They're nice
Why
helmets.
did Boise get in to the Fiesta Bowl? Why did they not extend the offer to
Marshall.
Marshall?
Well,
Good call, sir.
Boise Boise is one of those teams that, you know, a couple of years ago they were Boise and they were the Bowl Busters and all this stuff. You
They
know.
were the flying
yeah,
ointment to
yeah,
Brando.
yeah.
And TCU
And now
as well.
they,
Yep.
you know, and so they're that pick that you put in Boise. You know, I agree. Marshall is not sexy. I mean, Marshall is just not sexy.
But
That
do you
blue
think
field's
that
not
would be
sexy
deserving
either,
of
though.
a New Year's Day Bowl against Arizona. Do
I
you
think
think
Marshall
they would
would
have?
play
If you were on the selection committee and you had a 12-1 Marshall against a 10-2 Boise State, would you take the Marshall?
Marshall is just not. Marshall doesn't do it for people. You know, now Marshall had a football people now.
Yeah.
Now football
Yeah,
people,
come
we
on.
know.
Yeah.
Marshall had a good
We
team.
know
But
Cato is an
Marshall
exciting
just doesn't,
athlete.
they just
They
don't
wouldn't
do
sell
it.
tickets. They want something to sell
Yeah,
tickets.
yeah.
Isn't it
This is about
putting
money,
the best
man.
team?
Yeah.
If we're
This is
going-
about money.
Let's stray from the playoff.
But
and
you're,
let's just
but
go
you're talking
straight to the bowl
ideal.
game.
You're talking idealistic. The best team and stuff. Boise travels
That's
well.
'cause
They're
an Alabama
Boise.
fan.
They're a name, and
They
are
but it's
not.
not the Chris Peterson boys.
Yeah, but Marshall.
I just would think when I
Marshall is going to have to. I'm sorry,
Go
but
ahead.
Marshall is going to have to, in order to be recognized, Marshall is going to have to go to the Horseshoe and play Ohio State. They're going to have to come to Alabama
They
and
will.
play.
You're right.
They're going to have to go to
You're right.
Tallahassee.
Give it
yeah.
time though. When has Marshall been this relevant even enough to where we would talk about them being snubbed?
When
from
their
the
Randy
plane
Moss.
crashed.
Randy Moss.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chad
so this
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
This is
Right,
good
right.
advertisement for them either way.
yeah.
and they're playing in the Boca Raton Bowl. But anyway,
Yeah.
but I think that Boise State. I like Boise State in this one, but
Who wouldn't want to go to Boca and play football, man? In January?
I wouldn't want to.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that's like
Get
the
a sun
Bahama
tan.
Bowl.
Get a suntan, see all the
Nice
see all the
ladies.
see all the nice views.
Nice
if you know what I
ladies.
mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
They're
you know what I
down there.
mean.
Yeah.
All the nice views.
down there.
Kind of
and all that
close.
stuff.
Palm
Yeah.
trees.
Palm trees.
Yeah.
Beaches.
All right, we're going to go one more, then we got to take a break. Texas Bowl, Arkansas versus Texas.
Darren don't want to hear it, but we're gonna have to reference a 19-something.
69. 1969.
He wasn't born yet. He don't know.
Arkansas number 1, Texas number 2.
He was
in
like-
Fayetteville. 4th down. Texas is behind. 4th down. Past Jim Street, who just passed away a few months ago, to Randy Peschel. Texas wins the game in Arkansas, wins the national championship. We're going to see that replay before this game 50 times before this game is played.
I think
The
Arkansas.
fact that you know that
Yeah.
astonishes me.
Does it astound you?
But this is me.
I'm an astounding guy.
I'm
Yeah, you
just
are.
now I know why I
was-
went
was
after
sitting
you in the
beside him
first
at the-
round.
I was sitting beside him at the South Alabama Georgia State game, and he's an astounding guy.
Oh.
But this Texas Bowl.
I'm trading you for him. He knew some old school stuff, man.
Well, hey, here's the thing. I was born in 1984.
Yeah, yeah.
That's 20-something years.
Yeah, I was
after
only born like 5 years before him, so yeah.
But I do remember that game. I
Yeah.
remember seeing it on ESPN Classic.
I mean ESPN Classic. It was a great game. Great game.
Arkansas is playing. Is one, as we said before, one of the best 6-6 teams
Yeah.
in the Southeastern Conference.
Absolutely,
They took number 1 to the wire.
absolutely,
Back-to-back
They
shutouts.
blew Ole Miss off the field. They
Absolutely.
beat LSU.
absolutely.
Arkansas, Brett Bielema.
And they're
gets
getting 2 extra weeks of practice, and that is going to be humongous for that offensive line. That's the biggest
Right.
offensive line in football. Not in
one,
college.
average
Not in
3 points.
college. In football.
With the three-headed running back system.
Absolutely.
That they
If
have.
they
Absolutely.
had a quarterback, just like Jonathan said, if they had a quarterback, you would probably see them probably in the Capital One.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what I got to say to that? If I had a Whataburger right now, we would take a Whataburger break, and we'll be right back.
Woo picks.
Welcome to Whataburger.
Beautiful day, beautiful day.
I take pride in everything I put out.
To give you all the flavor that you need.
Fresh meat, fresh vegetables.
Awesome, John. Awesome.
When you smile, it makes somebody's day. At least they come out the place a little better than how they came in.
When I see a roof with orange stripes, I feel like I'm at home.
There's a lot of pride in every Whataburger.
Well, guys, I want to thank you as I clean that Whataburger off my beard a little
good.
bit.
That's good.
I
Whataburger.
think you missed
That's
the
good.
spot.
Great sandwich,
I
guys.
need some of that lip gloss.
Hey, I got it.
Oh,
I
we
got
back,
it.
we
I
back.
want to say something we were talking about
Uh-oh.
during the break. We were talking about how Marshall can get to be Boise State. Boise State goes to the Georgia Dome and plays Georgia and beats them. And everybody has still got the picture of Boise State beating Oklahoma with the Statue of Liberty.
And
Running
then
back
proposes-
goes over, proposes to his girlfriend
And
on the
gets a
sideline, and everybody's like, Boise State, boy, they are really sexy. Marshall is not a sexy pick. Boise State is. They still got that mental image in their mind about, Doug Martin, Doug Johnson, whatever his name is, the running back going over for
Doug
Boise.
Martin played
Yeah, Doug
Tampa
Martin.
Bay.
And the Statue of Liberty, man, that was awesome, man. I mean, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was good.
Johnson was
Yeah,
back
yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
greatest games, and not to get too far off topic, but just
Well, we
to
are.
say, Nevada and Boise State. That was one of the most exciting
Outstanding.
games that we
Outstanding.
ever saw.
Outstanding. I remember that game. That was outstanding.
That was that Cinderella season, right?
Absolutely.
And it was a good
Was
season.
Cap the quarterback?
Cap was
Cap
the
was the quarterback, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's when
Can we go to the next game now?
ahead,
guys?
sorry.
This is
Bitcoin
your show.
I really feel like it ain't.
You lost it a long time
Well,
ago.
yeah,
Hey, I
somewhere
think-
along the
I
Florida
think
Florida
you
State, serial killers. I
I
just
think
lost
you
control of the whole thing.
No offense, but I think you lost it when you said good evening and welcome to the Bowl Preview Show.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's why he should let me take over.
Okay, well, you know what? Go right ahead, Mr. Right-Hand Man. It's your show.
You go right ahead,
No,
man.
not going to do it now. Don't want to do it. I don't want to play. I'm going to turn my mic in and go home now.
Okay.
I'm going to go sit with the audience.
All right.
They're prettier than all y'all anyhow.
We just got blank empty chairs right now. And we got one.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, let's go.
Bitcoin Bowl, whatever it is. Another one of them
What is going
bowls.
on here? What is a Bitcoin bowl?
I don't know, but they got NC State, University of
What's a
Central
poinsettia bowl?
Florida.
I don't have a problem with a poinsettia bowl. But you got to remember, I'm
Now you wanna
Rose
have a
Bowl,
flower on your
Peach
jersey.
Bowl,
Well, you
Sugar
could say
Bowl.
the Rose
There were
Bowl,
4
so that's
bowls.
not all fair.
Independence
Cotton
Bowl.
Rose Bowl,
Yeah,
Sugar
we'll
Bowl.
let that one slide.
All right, we get back to the Bitcoin Bowl, NC State versus UCF.
UCF.
Who do we got, guys? UCF, NC State.
UCF.
Why?
I don't.
Why?
I like the way they're still playing.
They're all yelling
Audrey
UCF.
Hepburn,
Why?
their helmets.
I do like their
I
helmets
do
too.
like their helmets.
They got good helmets.
And George O'Leary, the guy that lied to try to get the Notre Dame job,
Yeah.
then got fired. As soon as he got the job, he didn't go off playing, go to the press conference, coach, you're fired.
But this isn't your UCF Blake Bortles type team. You know what I mean?
But they
No,
still
it's
found
not.
a way to win 10
Yeah,
games.
they found a way to
and
win
that's
10
what's
games.
impressive about it.
And I just can't get with North Carolina State. I can't.
I can't either.
It's something
No.
about them. That's why I'm going to take them.
I think.
They have a beautiful facility.
Oh, they do.
Wait a minute, hold up. Are you doing the not so fast, my friend?
Yeah,
Oh.
I can't. I mean,
Wait.
North Carolina State. I'm telling you, man, these bowls,
Billy,
these
Bill,
bowls,
shh, producer, quit making so much noise back there.
these bowls are absolutely.
Distracting.
Appreciate him.
These
ahead.
bowls are things that you get the extra practice, you get the athletes having good practices, they get
recruiting.
plugged in. Yeah, man.
And see, this is the
Yeah.
thing, and I was going to add this in the South Alabama one. You said it. You got the New Orleans Bowl that's first on the docket. Then they have the New Mexico, Idaho, Chalupa Bowl.
They got a Chalupa Bowl.
I think so. And then at 8:15,
The only game in town,
the only game,
countrywide,
ESPN.
nationwide.
May I say those 4
Worldwide.
letters again? ESPN
Yes,
8730 Sports.
yes.
will be there covering it.
Yeah.
ESPN, primetime, national stage,
Yes.
bowl game. That is going. That is why you see, because you don't hear about it. UCF, you very rarely see them on television. The only time you see them on ESPN, this is their time to be in the spotlight. This is how. You don't think that TV's not in recruiting, guys? They full of it.
Yeah.
This
Recruiting.
is
This
is your new UCF or USF.
This is and don't think Dr. Erdman, Joel, at South Alabama. Don't think he doesn't know this. You know, the motto is Mission Montgomery. Okay, that's their motto.
It could be for too long. Mission Pasadena.
Yes.
They could be going to.
This could be big for him. To quote a quote, I got a quote I heard today. A once in a lifetime chance doesn't come along very many times. Okay, and when you get that opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. They have to play well in this game.
Right.
Flip a Bitcoin, but I'm going to go with UCF on this
I'm
one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All righty, we're going to go to the next game. And Darren, this one's for you.
The Duck Commander.
The Duck Commander.
Hey,
That's a fact,
Willie,
Jack.
Si, Jace, Jep, all them guys are going to be there. Steve Spurrier's going to be there. That means, of course, you got the Hurricanes of Miami.
Yeah.
I tell you something.
You know, the only thing I can say about the Miami Hurricanes and Steve Spurrier, when Miami gets done with South Carolina, because I think Miami's going to roll through them, they gone.
Yeah. They stink.
gone.
South
They
Carolina-
gone. That's
South
all you're
Carolina
gonna-
stinks. And Miami probably saw the 30 for 30 last week on the Canes.
Oh yeah, wasn't
Was
that
that great?
good?
Was that
Yeah,
good?
boy, I
That was
like that.
outstanding.
Yeah,
I-
boy.
I-
yeah.
You part
Yeah.
two, baby.
Part two.
got to
Part
What do you say?
two.
I haven't got to see
Do
it.
you?
You
haven't
got to
got-
see it. The
I
U.
haven't. Hey, you know what? As a Florida fan, you just did that. That's one of your biggest rivals.
You know what? I don't care. I saw the 30 for 30, and I like that team.
It was
Well, I'll
good.
tell you something.
It was good.
That I have not got to see it because I'm not had cable since we moved into our apartment. But I'm actually getting cable this week, thank the Lord. So I'm hopefully.
Well, I
getting to see
bet
it.
Cox is happy.
Yeah.
Cable.
I'm hoping that I'll get to see it, but seeing just some of it. I think South Carolina. I think Steve Spurrier says, "Oh, I'm coming back one more year. I'm coming back one more year." He needs to hang it up because the tie is fixing to send him back to Columbia 6 and 7. I like Miami.
Yeah, I like Miami. I like Miami. South Carolina stinks.
And
Their
Si's going to be
defense
sitting there.
stinks. Now,
sipping
Dylan
on his sweet
Thompson,
tea.
Dylan Thompson is a decent quarterback,
Yeah.
guys. I mean, you can look at your stats.
But this freshman that they've got at Miami is amazing.
I agree,
Yeah.
but
South
keyword
Carolina stinks.
freshman.
They
Freshman
stink.
bowl
Pretty
game.
bad.
Hey, when they lost to Davion Clowney, they lost their face of their school.
Overrated. He's overrated and hadn't hardly played a snap in the NFL.
Because he's hurt.
I don't care. He's over.
That's what he
How do
played.
you know it's not the worst? That's a whole nother show.
How are you going to play?
gonna
Yeah,
have-
let me drag my broken leg onto the field and stop somebody.
I want to play for the
Gee
old coach.
whiz.
Let me choose when I want to play for.
I want to
I
play
have
for
nothing to do with this.
He ain't got much playing time, no, because he's like this.
Because he had one hit that everyone made a highlight video of.
This show
My
has,
goodness.
Well, okay.
This show has went completely.
So
to
Paul
left
is gone.
field, and they
Did you
heard us
see him?
apologize.
Paul is going to Festus from Gunsmoke on us here with the limp and stuff.
But
I
that's
have
what.
nothing to do with it.
Hey, you want to roll out in his wheelchair and stop somebody?
Hey, if you're getting the number one overall prospect,
Man,
But here's the-
spoken from somebody who has never broke a bone on the
But
football
here's a lot
field.
of the things about South
You have never broke a bone on a football
Torn
field, have you?
Separated his shoulder on a baseball field.
Well, that don't count. That's baseball.
Hey,
But here's the thing, and I'll talk.
You probably went in a
Yes,
15-day
because we can
disabled.
talk because these people are
I'll
crazy.
tell you've probably seen the South Alabama South Carolina game. South Alabama went toe to toe with.
Interceptions,
South
pick
Carolina.
six.
South Carolina is not as dominant as they were because I feel they lost when they lost to Davion Clown. They lost that edge rusher because all you've seen is that Outback Bowl hit against Michigan. Sorry,
Yeah.
Billy.
Yeah.
When he
Go Wings.
When
Yeah.
he depleted
Yeah.
Denard Robinson in the backfield,
Yeah.
they missed that presence because with him, you had something in this defense this year. It lost like they didn't have a leader.
Yeah.
Step up.
It was actually a running back, wasn't Denard, but it was still a good hit.
Yeah, it was a running back.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Some
Darryl
guy,
Russell.
yeah,
But
no,
I mean,
some
all
guy.
I know is
Straighten that
No,
out.
no,
all
I
I
just
know
want
is
to,
that
yeah.
he was picking his teeth up
Correction.
off the ground.
Yeah, and you know, Jadeveon.
Both of 'em.
Jadeveon was a man among boys. He was a good college player, and he's going to be a good pro, I think. I don't know. We don't know.
They don't
You
need
know,
to have him standing up at Houston.
Yeah, we don't know. They got him linebacker or
I think
something.
he's as good
But-
as his attitude will
Yeah,
make him.
but he was a man among boys at South Carolina. He did give them that attitude, and he did give them that national exposure. I think.
Honor Shaw,
I mean, here we
very
go again.
underrated,
Look,
guys.
I'm not comparing South Alabama to everything, but South Alabama, you got to remember, they were playing a backup quarterback at South Carolina. He threw a pick six. They were in it again. They were toe-to-toe with South Carolina. You know, they were toe-to-toe at Neyland Stadium with Tennessee a year ago. They should have beat them. You know, should have beat them.
Shoulda.
So what I'm saying is I'm judging. See, we've been with South Alabama's program since they started.
We have.
We saw them from the beginning. We saw this program grow up. And I judge what they do, and I'm saying, whoa, wait a minute. We went to Neyland Stadium? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was kind of sweet,
They went to
wasn't it?
Neyland Stadium and
You can use we. We've
no,
been
it's
there
not- it's
since
not a
day
win.
one,
yeah,
man.
They went to Neyland Stadium and should
Yeah.
have won, and that wasn't a great Tennessee team, but it's an SEC school.
That's right.
They played toe-to-toe with Mississippi State for a quarter. If Brandon hits that pass, I'm trying to remember who that was that dropped the ball at the 3. If he hits that pass and they go in, who knows?
May have been Marvin Shinn.
No, it wasn't Marvin Shinn. It was the other guy. He's playing very well right now. And then you go, and the South Carolina is not that good.
No, they're not.
They're not that good.
They're not
They are
that
going to
great
get
right now.
smoked in this game.
I
man.
think they will. Miami's going to. Duke Johnson, the running back from South Carolina, is
The
going
Duke.
Yeah.
The Duke from the U is,
Yeah.
From the U.
is
Yeah.
going to blow their doors off.
Yeah.
I think. In
Yeah.
this Duck Commander Bowl, they're going to be. Side's going to be
Yep,
sipping
they
in their
gone.
zone, sipping in their sweet tea. Phil's going to be saying, South Carolina.
Maybe that's
happy,
why-
Happy.
Maybe that's why Phil was crying in those promos for the upcoming Duck Commander show. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah,
And he said he doesn't cry often. He was bawling like a baby. Maybe that's because South Carolina got beat.
They actually bought a family. That
Who's the
was without
sponsor?
home.
Who's the sponsor for this bowl? This Duck
Duck
Commander?
Commander.
Duck Commander.
What is that?
Robertson.
They make duck calls.
The Duck Dynasty
Yeah,
people are
those
sponsoring
guys.
this bowl?
Yeah, now you
there's
wanna
gonna be
go,
a whole
don't you?
bunch of necks in the audience with
Oh,
beards
yeah,
and
the
stuff.
beards are going to be present.
Call in there. I got my
I
Dale call.
got my pintail whistle all ready to go. All right.
I got my
wouldn't go
bottle
near
of
that
sweet
bowl
tea
game.
all ready to go.
Here we go.
No, you wouldn't go near, would you?
Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for Paul. It
The-
is East Carolina traveling.
Oh, what, you ain't going to say the name of the bowl, man? You're just going to leave.
Yeah.
So what, we got a bowl game, and you're going to leave the name of the bowl out?
Here's what I say.
Campbell's Chicken Noodle Soup Bowl.
Who's
I'm
coaching?
sorry.
Who's
My
coaching
bad.
this team?
Oh, I don't care. We're just there. That's all I care about is we're there.
DJ Duckett.
Yeah,
DJ
yeah,
Durkin
yeah,
is
you
the
know.
Defensive
Okay.
coordinator. This is the Birmingham Bowl in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
Florida versus East Carolina.
I'm just going to say I'm going to put it out there Florida's going to win.
I think they will
I
too.
agree.
like
Florida's going to win.
Running game. I like
Yeah.
the defense.
Plus,
I
Jim
can't see East
McElwain
Carolina.
will be there. I figure Coach Mack will be there.
I can't see East Carolina beating Florida in this game.
Well, you know, it's just the way it is. Birmingham needed to bring in a marquee team.
And they did.
They need to bring in that big name that everybody knows.
They did.
And they brought in Florida. Look at that. And Florida was kind enough to
And
accept.
that night.
We turned down big bowl games, I'm
But this
sure.
is me.
I'm sure we had to turn down some big
This
games
is
to get
me
to.
also,
No,
this bowl
no
game,
big games.
I think
All right.
This
You
bowl
sure?
game,
Positive.
this bowl game here, in my opinion,
pitiful.
I'm kind of upset with the pick for East Carolina. I know Florida.
Why?
I'm happy for the pick.
Why would you be
But
upset?
this is what I would do if I was the city of Birmingham. Honor your university that just lost their football program and put them in that bowl.
No, because they might beat Florida.
UAB?
UAB's
They
pretty,
played well.
they're
in the
pretty
last part of
good,
the
man.
But
Yeah.
just hear me out.
No, we're
The
happy
city
with
of
East
the-
Carolina.
The Birmingham Bowl Committee should have put their home school in a bowl game. UAB's program's doors were closing. Give them one last game.
Give them
in
a
their-
hoorah and
in
send
their
off.
home
Yeah,
field
I agree with
at
that.
Legion Field.
No,
I think they should have done
no.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with
No.
that pick, but I'm thinking
No.
Florida's going to do it. But Paul, it don't matter if UAB would have beat Florida. But the thing is, UAB, young men,
Excuse me?
85 scholarship players.
Well, there's
You're- and
55 bowl games. They could have went somewhere else. They don't have to play Florida.
But here's the thing. I think that it would have been nice to see.
That's
Legion-
okay. Florida would have killed them
UAB
anyhow.
UAB play in Birmingham.
Giving out
In front of their
heartbreaking
12
guys
fans.
were-
85 players plus Bill Clark, who was here.
Yeah, I'd like to see Bill
I
Clark.
would have
do
liked to
something.
see Bill coach.
But they'd have
Yeah,
had
but-
12
but-
people show
but
up.
once again, we're talking idealistic here, and we're talking
Yeah,
right.
No, no.
But UAB
right.
coming to the Birmingham Bowl would have had a zero economic impact
Yeah.
on the town. And
They
that's
had
what
12 people show
and that's
up.
what these bowl games are all about. These bowl games are
Necessarily,
all
because
about
they could've
money.
Rallied
My
behind
wife-
that one last time that they're going to see their UAB Blazers out there.
They
So
didn't
gonna stay-
show
are
up
they
to
gonna
see
stay
them
in- Are they
anyhow.
going to stay in hotels? Or are they going to
No, they gonna go home.
restaurants?
That's true.
You
But
know?
here's the thing. Me and my wife were actually, of course, tickets for this game, $50. Me and my wife bought 4 tickets.
Where's
Well,
mine?
My father-in-law and mother-in-law are going, and my wife are going. We spent $215. General admission end zone seats for $30.
Where's mine?
They're online. You can go to birminghambowl.com, click tickets. And,
Just for that, I'm going to pull a credential. I'm going to stand on the sideline and wave at you.
yeah, that's all right.
That's
But
what
here's-
I'm going to do. I
Okay.
got his turkey, don't I?
But you know what? But I can tell you,
I bet you East Carolina's going to travel.
East Carolina.
Oh,
will
yeah,
travel.
they'll
That's what I-
travel.
Oh, yeah.
And see, I told my wife, I said, where do you want to sit? You want to sit on East Carolina? She said, no, I'm sitting on Florida side. I said,
Because
okay.
she's smart.
And I
She's
told
a
her-
smart
and I
woman.
done told her, I said, I got to find me a Florida polo. She said, what? I said, you're January 1, I know who you're going to be rooting for. And she said, yeah. I said, on January 3rd, I got to root for Florida. Because that's the way me and my wife, of course, I married a Gator. My wife pulls for Alabama.
It's the
pulls for
best thing he's done in his whole
That's
life.
exactly right. And I don't know how she got me because I am fugly. Anyway, but
I ain't going to
You
argue
outkicked
with
your
that.
coverage.
outkicked my coverage.
I hear you.
But
We all outkicked our
but
coverage.
but you know, talking about, and then I'll let Jonathan, but you were right. Florida is going to travel. I've got
Yeah.
a friend of mine from work.
Especially
that's
since
going with me.
Muschamp is gone now.
And Muschamp is gone, and,
Yeah.
he's done shot a bullet at the University of Florida football program
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, we need to do something about that. He better watch his vehicle when he parks it around some
But see,
Florida
here's-
fan.
But this is the
He
thing
might
about
come back with no wheels, man.
You
I
are a
ain't-
thug.
But the Birmingham
No
Bowl,
tree poisoning, or we don't condone
No,
any of
no,
that.
Harvey Updike, if you're watching,
Yeah.
I love you, but do not poison any more trees, or I will come find you.
I don't love you. You're an idiot.
Yeah, at least I didn't kill a tree. I'm just talking about slicing the guy's tires.
But you see,
You're
you
a
got
jack wagon.
Hold
But
this. Yeah, give me
but
that.
look at all of but look at all of the as you're talking about the
Where
Birmingham,
my numbers at,
that
man?
city, Legion Field, that money that's going to come into that bowl game from all those tickets, that could be something that could.
See, obviously you have never been to Legion Field.
I've been
Yeah.
to Legion Field.
So then you better thug up
I'm gonna tell
now,
you-
boo. You
I'll tell you right now,
better
the
lead
UAB
that persona
that money could be
ahead.
used to upgrade the stadium.
Right, but the UAB, that's the show for it. That's another show. That's a whole.
Yeah, we
different
don't
animal.
have time. We
Yeah,
got to do
I'm
this.
going
He's
with
dropping
Gators
his
on this one.
microphone
You're
on the
gonna go
floor.
Jonathan's going to go with Florida.
I'm going with your boys, Florida Gators, man. I like your defense and I like your
Oh,
running
you gonna
back.
give me something right
Uh,
there.
the
you go.
defense is going to be good.
A little shake and bake,
and I
man. A
think
little shake and bake.
And I
There you
think,
go.
And y'all are making me hungry thinking about chicken. And
Smelling like some chicken
and
too
what
right
I'm-
about now.
and what-
Inmate number.
315 South Cell Block 1.
Oh,
But Florida, I think
Why are we pointing at the floor, Chris?
Florida is going to be Florida is going to do a good job. Their defense is going to do it. I think Florida's
McElwain was a great hire.
and McElwain was a home run hire. That Jeremy Foley finally might have hit one of the. I think Jeremy Foley finally got his Nick Saban.
I'm excited to see Auburn play defense next year.
No.
I'm excited to see
Not
what they're
just-
going to do on defense with that offense.
I'm going to tell you something. They're going to be mad. They're going to be.
Dude, they got a
I can't say
great
it. We'll say it.
defensive coordinator
I
right
normally
now.
don't say PO'd, but they're going to be mad. They're going to play aggressive. They're going to play fast.
They're going to be PO'd.
And they are. Auburn is going to play just like Muschamp.
And who was
But
Auburn
in
playing?
Muschamp's face.
Man,
Shows it
that's
all.
going to be
Shows
interesting.
it all.
That's going
It's
to be
gonna be a
interesting.
very
I
interesting
can't
thing.
wait to see
All
Auburn
right,
with the defense.
it's time, guys.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the Birmingham
It's
Bowl,
time. We got to
Yeah.
pick them.
Yeah.
But the Birmingham Bowl is going to draw a lot of money in for that revenue for that city. East Carolina hotel rooms. I think my wife looked. Hotel rooms are going for $100 now for a night.
Really.
Well, that's cheap.
Greenville can't
boy.
be that far from Birmingham.
What was that?
Greenville can't be that far from Birmingham. It's got to be a 5-hour drive, maybe.
But yeah, but that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the revenue that's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if I think Felicia, my wife, looked $100 for a hotel
Yeah.
room right now in downtown.
I was
All
thinking, I was thinking the Pirates, they're in Greenville,
yeah.
South Carolina. They
Yeah.
can't be that far.
But you know, Florida's going to be the home team.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, guys. Let's go. Ready? Here we go. The Raycom Media Camellia Bowl, guys. South Alabama Bowling Green. Darren, who you got?
Bowling Green.
What?
Bowling Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it'll be high scoring. I think Bowling Green will outscore them.
He's done now. You can take him if you want. He's not allowed on here no more.
Okay.
Bowling Green. All right, I'm going.
Joey's not.
I'm going.
I like South Alabama, and I like
There
the
you
way
go.
this program's going.
Okay.
Chris.
I like the Jags. I should have had my visor on because I'm actually going to be wearing. Me and Paul, I think we're going to go up Saturday for the game and.
Yeah, we're going to the game. Are you?
Go Jags.
No.
And go Jags.
'Cause they
I'm
couldn't
actually
get
gonna be
paid to
wearing
go?
My South
No.
Alabama T-shirt, my
Okay.
visor. Go Jags.
Hey, I get it,
Joey
man.
Jones and the Jags.
I'll
They
be
get
wearing-
the 7-6
Yeah.
for the program and
Okay.
gets that recruitment and gets
Okay.
that finally gets that shot in the arm.
All right.
I'm going to go for the Jags too because the Jags always seem to do good against teams like that. They've handled guys like Kent State and usually have no
And I think the
issues.
last time they
South
played
Alabama.
Kent
I'm going with
State
South
scores off
Alabama.
the map.
All righty, let's go to the next one. The GoDaddy.com Bowl, Arkansas State, Toledo. Jonathan, why don't you start us off?
Guys, I like the Red Wolves in this one.
I like the Red Wolves too.
Elton John, Rocket Man.
I'm with Darren.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going
Toledo.
with
I got
Darren
it.
Toledo.
I got
I'm
it.
going with the Toledo. I'm going with the Toledo Rockets.
Do you have something against the Sun Belt tonight? No. I mean, you have not chose the Sun Belt team yet.
You know what?
I'm the
I
SEC
go.
Me and you are the SEC homers.
I
Yeah,
do
me and
this.
you are
Can
the
you
SEC
explain
homers,
yourself?
And,
I just believe that Toledo's
Okay.
going to come in
and we're
and play
glad
well.
Oh, that's all we
Jonathan
need.
on here, of course. And
All right, the New Orleans Bowl, Louisiana Lafayette versus Nevada.
Going with a one-man wolf pack, sir. Nevada.
I'm going to go with Mark Husband, my hometown guy. I'm going to go with Mark and the Raging Cajuns.
What he said.
And I'm going to go with the Raging Cajuns, too. That's a home game. They're going to have the entire city of Lafayette in New Orleans. I'm all about that.
All-State Sugar Bowl.
A little red pepper on the game.
Yep.
Except it's at 10 o'clock in the morning means I got to get up
Yeah.
at 5 to get
Yeah.
there. I'm not
That means
happy
you're gonna
about
have to
that.
You mean you're going to have to drink a Red Bull. I'll give you some flavors.
Not going to do that. All-State Sugar Bowl, Alabama, Ohio State. Let me hear it from the panel.
I think Bama's been on a mission since Ole Miss.
So does that mean you're
It's
taking
kind
Bama?
of like all they need is the what was that, the Tebow declaration.
The law.
I promise that we will play better. That's all they need.
Yeah, the block PAT.
Yeah, the
game.
block PAT
Never
game.
forget it.
Yeah. But Alabama's been on a mission since Ole Miss, and I think they're on a mission to win the whole
I don't even have to ask.
The tide rolls.
Do you even want to say anything, or are you just going with the tie?
hat.
No, put that hat back on the head.
No bald spots, please.
Don't worry, it ain't the ball spot I worry about. It's the one that's reaching out trying
And
to
I
grab
know you-
somebody.
And I know who you're fixing to go with. You better not say it.
Tell me.
I know you're
Tell
probably
me.
going to go with Ohio State.
Yep, because I can't stand the Tide.
Well, I'm at least glad you're using some logic.
Well,
And I like their
generated
helmets.
By hate, like every Florida State loss. Oh wait.
Yeah, wait a minute. Hold up. All right.
All right, come on, we got your next one. Mississippi State, Georgia Tech.
Ramblin' Wreck.
That'd be Georgia Tech.
Yes.
Can't use the Yellow Jackets. You got to use something that nobody knows but the
I like
football
the little car
guys.
that comes out before the game.
That's
And
called
Yeah,
the
where did
Raptor
our little
baseball.
car go that was at South that used to come out with the southpaw on the
I
back?
think it got stolen.
So, see, that's what happens when you build a university in the middle of the hood.
I think it got stolen.
Wait, hold on. That's where the stadium is. Okay.
He said that. I didn't. He said that.
We need to take the stadium, put it on campus, apparently, because they stole the car.
Oh, that's another show.
I know. Well, I'm just throwing these topics out so you can get ready.
You South Alabama.
You know. Okay, ready. I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. I just like their helmets and uniform.
I like your logic.
I'm going to change my
Well,
pick.
you know, we have a young lady who picks games with us.
And
She
she just-
picks based on the color of the helmets,
Right.
and she's just killing us.
Yeah.
So I'm going with her theory.
Okay.
Sounds like my sister.
Okay.
All right, go right ahead. You like the helmets too?
Okay.
I'm going to State. I think State, Zach Prescott, it could be his final college game.
Is it it's the chrome helmet?
I think
That
it's
was pretty nice too.
I like
The-
Dan Mullen. I like your Florida boy, and
There
I
you
like
go.
what he's building at
See,
Mississippi State.
see, there's
Watch out,
shake
though.
and bake.
They'll be
There we go.
They'll be
But
investigated.
but it's my, but
They're
my,
going to
but,
be
it's-
investigated.
but here's my thing. I still think he's stupid that he didn't take the Florida job. Enough said.
Well, we just lost our connection with Mississippi State, so we won't be going there this year. Thanks a lot, Chris. So now we can mark LSU off and Mississippi State. We are just SEC done.
Please, Paul.
Pretty
no.
soon we'll
Please,
just be
no.
doing high school.
No, I'm just saying that Dan Mullen should have taken the Florida job.
Well, there's always
They'll be
Milton High.
investigated.
Ole Miss TCU, Paul. Who do you like?
I like Ole Miss, even though I think TCU would beat them. I like Ole Miss.
I like the Rebel Bears in this one. I like Hugh Freeze. There's going to be a freeze warning in that Georgia Dome. He ended the year. He started the year in the Georgia Dome. And he's going to end the year in the Georgia Dome.
Bam. Hit it out the park.
I like it.
And so did Alabama, and they ended the year in the Georgia Dome.
Interesting. TCU. Too cool.
Too cool.
Too cool.
Too cool.
What's their little emblem they make? The horned frog.
The frog.
There it is.
God, that is an
Well,
ugly
no,
animal, man.
No ribbit for me.
Okay.
I like what Hugh Freeze is building.
There you go.
Okay.
We got it
He
going.
just
Okay.
signed that. He just signed that edition.
All right,
My meter's
Cottonmouth,
running on the
Michigan-
cab. My
Michigan-
meter's running on the cab.
Michigan
outside.
State versus Baylor.
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 The Bears.
All right, I'll go with the Bears. Oregon Ducks versus maybe we'll win if we can just make one more play, Seminoles.
I might look like a complete fool when this game is over, but I think Florida State's going to win the game.
I don't think that's crazy, but Emilio Estevez says go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Oh, there's no way in the world you're going to get me to pull for Florida State. Go Ducks.
I think that this has been, as I said,
Shake and bake.
There you
Florida
go.
State.
Oh, shake and
Florida
bake.
State's
This
been
there,
living
Paul.
on the
What
edge
the-
all year. Oregon, of course, Heisman Trophy winner. But
Inflated
Florida
numbers.
State wants Bama.
Yes.
They want them.
Yes.
They can have them.
Yes.
Florida State.
Yes.
Florida State, you're going to have to schedule us in about 2 years from now.
All right,
because
Boise
Oregon's
State,
business.
Arizona.
Rich Rod continues his meteoric re-rise into the ranks of the elite coaches. Zona.
Arizona
I
Wild.
like Zona. I don't know about the elite coaches, but I will go with the Wildcats.
Yeah.
All right, well, since everybody else is doing it, I guess I'll do it too, although I like Boise State's helmets.
They're not the
Yeah.
same, boy.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Arizona.
Okay, all right.
Gee whiz, give me a break, man. All right, Arkansas, are you okay? Our only audience is leaving.
We're good. We're good.
Wait, no,
We're good. Just make your picks.
we have nobody else to talk to now.
Okay, well, you got Darren to you.
The
and I got Tom.
Bitcoin Bowl.
We got a guy in a South Alabama hat.
Bit-
Right
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, all right.
We got Billy Zantoff.
Arkansas versus Texas, guys. Who do we go?
Man, woo
Arkansas.
Pig Suey all day.
Arkansas.
Wow,
I
I
like what
love
Charlie Strong's
I
building.
love Charlie Strong, but Pig Suey, man.
They don't have enough healthy people.
I know.
or
And Charlie
eligible people
Charlie
to play
Strong has
football.
thrown half of the team off.
Well, he's getting ready. What
He's getting
Charlie
ready.
Strong is doing what Charlie Strong does best.
Build
He's
his
weeding
guys.
out, and now he's kicking. He's destroying what Matt Brown built and building what he.
I
wants.
admire him for going in with the crap that you have to put up with from the Texas alumni. I wouldn't. I mean, I admire him for taking the job, because the Texas alumni.
And his name was rumored for the Florida job too,
Yeah.
but
And he wasn't their first choice.
he wasn't there.
He would have been my first choice.
He wasn't their
He's
first
a
choice,
but
good
he-
coach.
That would have been Florida been back on the map in 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, absolutely.
that's
That
what I'm saying.
recruitment and
Absolutely.
his coaching.
But
absolutely.
what he has to put up with from the almighty Texas alumni,
Oh, you're boosting
no
yourself.
human being should
Yeah.
have to put up with that.
Right.
Hooking them horns. They're hooking them horns, but I'm going with Arkansas.
Okay.
I was fixing to say we're gonna hit you in the back of the head.
I just don't like Texas.
Figured that.
All right, the Bitcoin something or another bowl.
The flip the coin
NC
bowl.
State, UCF. I move UCF across the board.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going-
yeah.
yeah, I got to go with
UCF.
UCF.
Yeah.
All right, the Quackadak Duck Commander Bowl.
The U.
W.
You know, it's all about the U this game.
All right, we can go to the next one now. The Birmingham Bowl, we all know it's the Gators. It's Gators right across the board. Gator.
you're not
All right,
gonna
we're going to go.
Extra
That's going to wrap the show up. Be quiet. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Paul has to get back to the halfway
Okay,
house.
all right, hold on.
He has to get
All
back
right.
to the halfway house.
Hey, we got one more bowl game we didn't talk about.
One more. All right,
We
which
didn't
one?
talk about the Auburn-Wisconsin Outback Bowl game.
Wisconsin.
Oh, God.
Barners.
Wisconsin is completely outmatched in this game. Malzahn's offense can play with anybody.
But their defense can't stop nobody.
But
Wisconsin.
their defense cannot
So
stop
you're
the
saying
run.
that Gordon is going to run up and down the field?
I'm not saying anything. I haven't seen Wisconsin play all year.
Just the same as Sammy Coates is going to make.
You notice I didn't put
I
that
think
game
you're
on the
looking at
board.
One of your more intriguing matchups. And
I think
will
you're
not-
right.
I will not say it, but our sister school pulls this one out.
I think you're right.
I'm glad you didn't say it because I wasn't going to say them filthy words out of my mouth, or I was going to have to go home and wash them out.
I think the
But
defensive
the
guys.
AU is going to win.
I think the defensive guys are going to want
Arkansas
show Muschamp.
University?
I think the defensive guys are going to audition for Will Muschamp.
Absolutely.
I didn't say
Yeah.
the other
This
words.
is the start of.
You got it, didn't you?
But I
Yeah.
didn't say
Yeah.
the other two words.
Yeah, just, hey, we need to keep film rolling when he's washing his mouth out. He did say Auburn came out of that mouth.
Well, here's my thing. Back to the Birmingham Bowl, East Carolina. But I can't do this. I love my wife.
Yeah.
I always do this on the Gator Review.
Hey, whether it's Vanderbilt, Florida, or my most hated rival Auburn, I'm going SEC.
My cab
I like-
driver
I
is
like
up
the
to
Gators.
$45.
I'm trying to get you out of here, brother, but you know,
Okay.
Alabama guys just gotta talk. They don't want to stop. They
About your Gators.
just want to talk. Hey, man, I'm okay with it, man.
Well, guys,
All right,
this is-
one last thing, real quick. You got 2 seconds. Who's in the national championship game? Darren.
Alabama, Florida State.
And who wins it?
Alabama.
Go ahead, Paul. You first.
I'm the director. You go.
Alabama, Florida State, Alabama.
Alabama, Oregon. Alabama in a close one.
All right.
I picked the Ducks. The Ducks are going to win it all. The Quack Attack is going to win it all.
You're
The
not
Quack
go-
Attack is
He's
back,
not
Jack.
going to halfway house. He's going to insane asylum.
He's going to the insane asylum.
Guys, that's going to wrap it up. We hope you guys join us again very, very soon. We appreciate you watching. We hope you enjoyed it.
Merry Christmas.
For the
Happy
gang
New
up
Year.
here, we're gone.
God bless you.